next chapter in Crime Inc. starts now. We've shown you how the money goes from the Chicago Climate Exchange, how it all got there over the days. If you missed it, go to glennbeck.com and look for this. We've laid it all out. We've shown you all of it, all the board of directors of the Emerald Cities Collaborative, where a lot of the money stops. It's all the usual suspects, all of them. All of them. Creating green jobs. Yeah, that's right, creating jobs. Right. Now, what we haven't shown you is, besides all of the usual suspects of the global, workers of the world unite people and global government people, what we haven't shown you is the board of directors of CCX, the Chicago Climate Exchange, which, by the way, the Chicago Climate Exchange just sold to an international company. So it's global now. Okay. I haven't shown you who's on the board of directors, but let me take you back to the words at the top of the show. The top of the show, I showed you these words. It was from a 1990 interview. At the time, can you bring the words up? At the time, by the UN Secretary General for the Earth Summit. He's now one of the directors, board of directors of CCX. This is what he said. What if a small group of these world leaders were to conclude that the principal risk of the Earth comes from their actions, the actions of rich countries, and in order to save the planet, the group decides, isn't the only hope for the planet that the industrialized civilizations collapse? Isn't that our responsibility to bring this all about? Now, I want to be very clear here, because we talked to the reporter that did this interview in 1990 up in Canada, and I want to be very clear. He was fantasizing about a plot of a novel he was thinking about writing. Yeah. I want to show you the list of novels that Maurice Strong has written before 1990. Here it is. None. No, he's never written a novel. But this was 1990, and he had this great, because that sounds like a great plot, doesn't it? Is it? How many has he written since? None. Wow. I want to show you his resume over here. Now, this is all about the new America Power Act. It's cap and trade climate bill. Here's his picture. He is currently an advisor to China. He was the godfather of the 1997 Kyoto Protocol. He is a key player in the UN, the World Bank, and the Earth Council. He was once on the board of the now-defunct Commission on Global Governance. I guess you get a lot of experience to be able to write those, those novels when you do all those things, because you're right there. Anyway, he pushed to get $600 billion sent to the developing world as reparations for a century of industrial development and environmental degradation. So take it from the rich. Got it? He also was in business with Al Gore while Al Gore was in the Senate. He worked with him on environmental issues. And on Earth Day, 1995, Vice President then Al Gore visits Strong's green technology company and then later helps steer $33 million in taxpayer money, your money, to the molten metal technology company. Which is interesting because that money was... government handouts was the only source of income for this company. And when the government started to say, okay, I don't think we're going to pay you anymore, it kind of folded. Yeah, we stopped sending the money when it became apparent that molten metal didn't actually do anything. Oh, by the way, Strong cashed out his stocks at the peak just before they made the announcement on a Sunday that the government cheese was drying up. He made $15 million. Everybody else lost money. He's extremely well connected. He's very powerful. I mean, he's with the World Bank and everybody else. He's not just some guy. This is a big fish we're bringing into the boat. I want to make something clear. Right now, tinfoil hat people might be watching and go, Glenn Beck's finally on it. There's a big global, there's a star chamber. They're not talking about global government. They're talking about global governance. This is key for you to understand because history points to it over and over again. When Rome transformed, they went from a republic to an empire, a global empire. Okay, how did they do it? Well, the main thing that happened was they needed a strong man to stop all the chaos, but then that strong man didn't change the way things looked. He left the illusion of the republic. He left the illusion of the Senate in place. It made people comfortable. That's why nothing's really being changed that the average person notices yet. It is about power. It is about power, but not your power. I mean, how do you vote the bums out at the IMF, at the UN? Tell me you even knew these guys. Tell me you knew Maurice Strong. Have you ever heard of him? This guy's really powerful and rich. George Soros we knew. Did you know this guy before we exposed him? How about this guy? You know who they are? I think one of my producers that shall remain unnamed, when we found the stuff that we're on today, cried. Could be wrong if you who are unnamed, but I don't think so. Because she realized what we're dealing with here and who we're dealing with. It's not good stuff. Next, the small bank that got a big bailout from the government. I mean, this one wasn't too big to fail. So why is it being saved?